let's interview ethanol. So, question 1. Are you a fuel? What is the meaning of fuel? According to the Wiktionary, fuels are a substance that consume to provide energy through combustion or chemical or nuclear reaction. I'm not talking about fuels like in cheeseburgers, talking about fuels like in the ones you put in your car or the type that power plants run on. So if that's what fuel is, what makes fuel fuel? My interpretation of fuel is something that reacts to release energy. This is usually in the form of work or heat. So if I react ethanol with oxygen, it combusts. And if I work out the enthalpy of the reaction, it is heavily exothermic, meaning it releases energy into the surroundings. So if the reaction of ethanol releases heat, wouldn't that count as energy? And wouldn't that make it a fuel? Yeah, yes it does. Question 2. Are you a renewable fuel? Firstly, again, let's find the meaning of renewable. Renewable is to be able to be renewed or capable of renewal. Considering the definition, we should investigate where and how ethanol is made. According to a statement from the US Department of Energy, today, nearly all ethanol produced in the world is derived from starch and sugar-based feedstocks. Some amounts of ethanol are from refineries, but almost all ethanol in the US are from domestic biomass. This is backed up as now ethanol is commonly referred to as biomass due to its origins in biological precursors. And that statement basically ends our investigation into where ethanol is found. So then, what makes biomass renewable? Biomass is defined as an organic material that comes from plants and animals, and the main energy of biomass comes from the sun. And I don't know about you, but stealing energy from the sun seems pretty renewable to me. A virtually unlimited ball of energy that we can tap into feels like something that wouldn't run out anytime soon. And this kind of reminds you of the energy cycle, by the way. Plants allow the existence of animals, and animals allow the existence of plants, all while being powered by the energy of the sun. Basic biology, come on. So let's compress all this acquired info. All ethanol comes from biomass. Biomass comes from the sun through the energy cycle, and if it's sourced from the sun, seems pretty renewable to me. So yes, ethanol is renewable. Question 3. Can you be used as petrol for my car? This is a complicated question, but in short, yes. We deduced previously that ethanol was a fuel, and car engines require fuel to combust to run. So as long as there's fuel and it can combust, it theoretically should work. In long form, there are multiple pros and cons detailing the use of ethanol as a fuel alternative. Here's some pros. Firstly, ethanol is renewable. In a day and age where we are under constant threat of our earth being on fire, words like renewable and eco-friendly brings a tear to my eye. The combustion of ethanol is usually almost always a complete combustion, and even better, the only emissions of the reaction are carbon dioxide and water. Wait a minute. Carbon dioxide and water is something that plants use to grow. And plants make oxygen, and once they're dead, they also make ethanol. So I don't know about you, but that sounds like a clean, sustainable cycle to me. Incomplete combustion, emitting dangerous greenhouse gases. Nuh-uh. Complete combustion gang for life. Number 2. Ethanol isn't a fossil fuel. This is basic knowledge, but it is known that fossil fuels are a finite resource. We only have centuries left of fossil fuels according to analysis of BP statistics. And having a renewable resource that won't ever run out sounds fantastic. So this wins my timestamp of timelessness. Now the Earth will no longer be on fire, but smiling happily as we move on to a sustainable future. 3. Accessibility. The feedstock of ethanol is natural products such as corn or sugarcane, and if you're desperate, just plain old compost waste. This simplicity of the ingredients allows production of ethanol to be cheap and accessible, and an investment for countries first to third and anywhere in between to easily take. Cons of ethanol. Firstly, and this is a big one, 100% pure ethanol doesn't combust very well. For this reason, ethanol fuel has stayed as a mixture for all fuels, not as an alternative. As for ethanol to reach the same efficiency and power levels as normal petrol, it has to be mixed in as a mixture. And this, again, leads back to the original problem, that fossil fuels aren't finite, and now the earth is burning again, a bit at a slower rate though. 2. Biomass requires land. To turn corn into fuel, corn first has to be grown, and this mass cultivation of corn requires a lot of land. This quickly becomes an expensive process as land and labor exponentially become more expensive as we expand the areas we grow in. Growing mass amounts of crops also saps materials and nutrients from the topsoil. This leads to soil nutrient deficiency, requiring the use of artificial fertilizers, which usually are toxic to the environment due to factors such as runoff, contaminating the water systems. And now we're back to square one again. So in conclusion, should I run ethanol in my car? Yeah, sure, if you want. Weigh the pros and cons yourself, see what suits you better. Question 5. How is ethanol being used today? First of all, ethanol isn't a substitute to petrol anymore. It's more of a complement. Matter of fact is that ethanol does not work well enough without the presence of generic petrol due to the physical drawbacks of the fuel. Ethanol became a tale of hypocrisy, a tale of people not liking burning things, so they instead switched to burning something else that promised to be full of rainbows and happiness. The future today is proper renewable energies, ones that can actually last forever and as clean as clear gin. The future also relies on electric cars. Using available clean energy sources instead of generating energy from combustion has already seen vast improvements recently. Even in the future of mass transport, there are better ways of saving the planet. Burning something just isn't going to cut it. Thanks for watching.